Additionally, the National Executive and the voice of the party is in the media must know whom to contact when to become the executive director of the party to be deputized by. Be able to forward the name of Senator John Medhu to the office of the Registrar of Political Parties for now, because there are certain legal issues surrounding the senators having been elected on a UDA ticket to the Senate. Our lawyers are looking at the legal implications, but Senator John Medhu, for all practical purposes, is a member of DCP, and he will start acting from today as the Secretary General designate and be the spokesman, the spokesperson of the DCP party on all matters starting today. In due course, in the fullness of time, his name will be forwarded to the Registrar of Political Parties so that he is registered as a duly appointed Secretary General of DCP. The National Executive Council has given Senator John Medhu, the Secretary General designate, his first assignment, that he, together with the Honorable Ajiko Mohia, the MP for Kipipiri, and other leaders, to take charge of the by-elections in Kalau and deliver a decisive victory to the DCP party on the elections scheduled for 16th of July. The party has also reviewed the progress and growth of our party, and NEC is very happy that thousands of aspirants have shown interest and registered with the party with the intention of flying the party's flag in the next general election. And we want to assure our aspirants who have indicated interest that the party will hold free and fair nominations as it happened during the nominations for the Kalau by-election. We have so far received 34 aspirants who have expressed interest to run for gubernatorial seats on DCP ticket across the country. We have also received 98 aspirants to run for various senatorial seats across the country. We have also registered 764 aspirants for members of the National Assembly, including women reps. We have received 11,564 aspirants for the various positions of members of County Assembly across the county. Our membership, we have so far registered 4,576,345 persons who have registered internally as members of the party, because we are having a big challenge with the Office of the Registrar of Political Parties. The system is refusing to remove people from UDA to DCP, and we think it's deliberate. We want to tell UDA, you can keep the names on the ORPP register, but you cannot keep their hearts there, they are in DCP. So what we have done, we have our own internal register, and so far we have 4,576,345, and we have told the Secretary General designate the target is 10 million members before we go forth. As a responsible leader, refrained for a very long time to discuss matters surrounding the security, because I thought that if I told people that the president is exposed and there are so many lapses surrounding his security, it is very irresponsible and reckless for the government to play around with the security of President William Ruto. President William Ruto is very unpopular, I agree, but I must admit, in my own estimation, there will be political instability in this country. I, Rigathi Gachagua, do not want instability in this country. We have no other country and we don't want instability. We want William Ruto to be safe. We want William Ruto to be alive and to be well. We want to have the opportunity. The problem of the security of William Ruto is that he has a CS interior who is naive, childish, and juvenile. In the inner circles of the ministry, I am told he is called the Minister for Entertainment, Waziri wa Sherehe. Security chiefs are telling me he is not available to be briefed of the country. And when he is available, he does not comprehend security briefs. He is known for party after party. He is too excited by the position. He is partying the whole night. And security chiefs cannot reach him. And when they do reach him, he is unable to comprehend the security briefs. And what we are asking, when we had the Gen Z revolt and William Ruto disbanded the cabinet, I was deputy president, and everybody was demanding that Kipchumba Murkomen should be sacked. William Ruto asked me whether I could appoint him as CS Interior. I couldn't believe my ears, and I told him, you can't. This seat of Interior requires somebody who is mature and who has no political ambition. Because anybody who is ambitious will play around with security agencies and intelligence to further his political ambition. And we did agree with William Ruto at that time that he take him to the Ministry of Sports and Youth. And that's where he belongs. This ministry is too serious for such a childish minister. And we are asking William Ruto, you have been unable to get anything right in this country. In the economy, you have failed. Education, you have failed. Health, you have failed. Investment, you have failed. You can't get anything right, including your own security as a person. That's the question we are asking. We are asking, are Kenyans safe? How can Murkomen guarantee the safety of the ordinary Kenyans if he cannot guarantee the security of his appointing authority? The man who has appointed him to the job is not safe. What happens to the rest of Kenyans? In May 2025, William Ruto narrowly escaped a shoe aimed at his head, which he blocked with his hand in Migori. In Soweto, Kibra, on 28th April 2026, a flying bottle of water was hurled at the president by a surging crowd. 6th February 2026, another young man ran to him in Mombasa. His whole security,
Does this conflict structurally change inflation?
The energy crisis might persist for a lot longer. Everything that we import will increase 2.5x. From a growth perspective, where we thought growth will be in the low 5% prior to the onset of these geopolitical risks, I do think that an entrenched war in the Middle East can shave off at least 0.3 to 0.5 percentage points because of the inflationary impact.
One word to describe the next 6 months?
Precarious.
Know what's inside that pre-packaged food? Those ultra-processed foods high in sugar, salt, and unhealthy fats are driving diseases like diabetes, cancer, and high blood pressure. Your family deserves real food, not hidden harm.
What has been happening? That strangers come and accost the president, and everybody is running helter-skelter. The ADC is not there, there is no security. What if that man who came yesterday had a knife? If he could hold his neck and almost twist it, he would have knifed him. What if he was a suicide bomber? This is a very sad state of affairs, and we want to tell William Ruto, you must be very careless, and you have been very careless with the management of the affairs of this country. But you cannot be careless about the management and the stability of the Kenyan nation. You cannot take your security recklessly and in a careless manner. Because if anything happened to you, there will be chaos in this country. There will be instability in this country. In other jurisdictions, by now, the CS Interior would have resigned, the IG would have resigned, everybody would have resigned. But what has happened? Some changes have been done. Let me give Kenyans a snippet of what is happening around the president. I've wanted to avoid this topic because I didn't want really possible enemies of the president to know how exposed he is. And the matter now is in public, it has come to public, like everybody knows, that their president is totally exposed. He has no security around him, he's surrounded by jokers. I'm told most of those people who were guarding him yesterday were busy on WhatsApp and TikTok. They were only realizing the president has been accosted half a minute after the possible assailant had already accosted the president. What is happening is that the presidential escort unit is a demoralized lot. It is demoralized because one, Kipchumba Murkomen, Eliud Langat, and an immediate escort commander, Mayu, have ethnicized that unit. Nearly all officers are from one community where the president comes from. All other officers from other communities are very demoralized, and they are never given an opportunity to escort the president around. Escorting the president around comes with privileges and allowances. All officers from other communities don't leave the camp. It's only officers from the president's community that guard him. And these officers from the president's community have a sense of entitlement. They don't have to be professional. They are only guarding him and escorting him because they come from his community. That is why there is laxity and sheer recklessness around the president. Again, there is a lot of corruption in that unit. Officers have called me this morning. Most of them were guarding me. We know each other. Because the deputy president and the president are guarded by the same unit under the presidential escort commander. When they travel their allowances, the DIG, Murkomen, and the immediate escort commander demand half the allowances of these officers for them to be allocated to escort the president. So they are very demoralized and very unhappy people. Even after half of the allowances have been taken, for 4 months they have not received the allowances. So they are very demoralized lot. And they are saying they cannot understand why they are not being paid. Yet every day they are allocated the duty to guard millions of shillings being brought to State House to bribe voters. They are the ones who supervise money being offloaded from trucks in sacks to State House. They guard millions of shillings every day. They see the president bribing people with millions every day, yet they have no money in their pocket. They have not been paid their allowances. That is why they are not bothered with the security of the president. They really don't care. They have not been paid their allowances, yet they are the ones escorting money to be given to people who are coming to State House. They see members of parliament coming every Friday. They live with the brown envelopes. yet themselves they have nothing. That is the problem that we face. Again, I must tell William Ruto, please allow professionals to serve you. Why are you insisting that only your tribesmen should guard you? With the changes that were made yesterday, shamelessly, they were all from one community where the president comes from. But your tribesmen have let you down. You are so exposed. If you thought they are very loyal and they are the ones you can trust with your security, see what is happening today. They cannot be professional because they have a sense of entitlement. They have only been given duties to guard you because they come from your community. I want to tell William Ruto to think and think again. If he must have a Kalenjin as a CS Interior, we have very many Kalenjin people who have served this country with the dedication. Very mature. We have the former IG Boynet. He can be a good CS Interior. We have Boynet, who was Director of National Intelligence. He can be CS Interior. Even Davis Chilchil, you can locate him from transport and bring him to Interior. He's very mature. But you can't have a minister who is childish in charge of the security of the country. And it is now very clear to the whole country that there is a problem. If the men who have sold to the Constitution to defend Kenyans from harm is himself exposed as in danger, what happens to the rest of the country? What happens to the rest of the country? William Ruto, you must know, although you are president, your security is a concern to the people of Kenya. Because it's important that you are properly guarded, you are safe and secure for the country to be politically stable. We don't want instability ahead of the elections. You must do the right thing. You must fire Murkomen and get somebody who is level-headed, somebody who knows what he's doing. You can pick somebody from your community if you only trust your community. But you can't have such a reckless and childish person to be in charge of the security of this country. Ladies and gentlemen of the press, you know that since Murkomen became the CS Interior, this country now is run by goons. You cannot tell the difference between goons and police officers. Goons have taken over the country. They ride in police vehicles. They are even supplied with tear gas. Goons and police have attacked churches. You remember we were attacked in ACK Wetima Church in Othaya by police officers and goons. This is a CS since the history of independence. We have never seen such a CS. And William Ruto, you are staring at disaster. And this country cannot have Murkomen as CS Interior as we go towards elections. You have already seen what is happening in the Mount Kenya region. CS Interior, Murkomen, working with members of parliament, have sponsored thugs and goons to destroy people's property anytime there is some civil unrest. It is Murkomen who is doing it, so that he can convince William Ruto that Kenyans have no problem with him. It is the Kikuyu nation that have a problem with William Ruto. And the Kikuyus are fighting themselves and destroying their property. Instead of thinking how he can guard the president, instead of thinking how he can guard our borders. As we speak in Mandera, the town has been taken over by foreign forces from Jubaland. Instead of Murkomen working on that, he is sponsoring goons in the Mount Kenya region to cause havoc, to create an impression that there is a crisis in the Mount Kenya region. So I want to say, much as I don't like William Ruto, much as I have a big problem with the way he has been managed this country, I want William Ruto safe, because it's important for the stability of this country. I want to have a chance to defeat William Ruto next year in an election. I want him to be safe. I also want the dignity of the office of the president to be restored. How do you explain to our children? How do you explain to foreigners that an unknown character can walk to where the president is and hold his neck and almost twist it? and is a man who is guarded by over 800 police officers at any one time. This is sheer recklessness of unknown magnitude, and I think it's dangerous for the country. William Ruto, you may not care about your safety, but you must, because you took oath of office, care for this country and the stability of this country. And you cannot let Murkomen stay another day in office. It is not right. It should not happen. We are the laughing stock of all countries across the world. It is not right. Take Murkomen back to the Ministry of Youth and Sports. There he can do party after party. He can party with the young people. He can wear shoes worth $1 million shillings. He can wear watches worth $500,000 and all those other childish and juvenile behavior that cannot be associated with the
My work is easy because I use ClickUp. Here's how I get perfect notes from